Hello, Novi Bookies. So this is another night of getting ready for taking all of this off. I had to switch out because I did have a very much so big stain on my, hold on. A very much so big stain on my shirt thanks to myself. But I'm actually about to pin up my hair and take my makeup off, get in the shower, and get ready for bed. So, well, yeah, get ready for bed. So with that just being said, it's just me by myself today. I know the last one was like, whoa there, but yeah. So, hold on, let me. I had a hat on, y'all. Y'all gonna see. This is, so that was day 13. This is day 14. So I'm literally a whole week ahead of making videos for content by the grace of God. And as you can see, hair is still, I had a whole hat on, and hair is still hairing. I just love this color. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm probably am going to recurl this tomorrow, just because I've been having a lot of fun in my hair. But sometimes when I just pin up, it does what it needs to do. So yeah, I do pin up first, and then I take my makeup off, just so it's not stuff everywhere. And plus the pins take, they're quicker versus the makeup. But I'm actually going to be doing a voiceover for this, so I'm just introducing y'all to day 14, excuse me, of day 14 of Vlogmas, whereas, you know, I think I'm going to do a story time. But do I want to do a story time now? I feel like I could talk. It's just, you know, my bad for talking. And I did my eyelashes completely wrong. So my pictures were like very much so, looked like I had a crooked eye, for real. And crooked, we was talking about the P-Valley today. I'm so ready to go back to the pink. But yeah, I did this one wrong. And that's what happens when you do this eyelash first. Because I did this eyelash first, and I never do this eyelash first. So that was my bad luck today. But like, yeah, I mean, I could still. Let me take some pictures. Hold on. Since this is day 14, and I did kind of say I was going to wait, I kind of want to tell my story. So this is no shade, no tea, and honestly at this point I really think that I was probably just delusional. But I mean, hey, there's nothing wrong with like telling your story, right? You know? So, and it's from my point of view, and there's always two sides to a story. I'm not saying that I'm going to lie in any of my story, but what I've taken from that, when people be like it's two sides to a story, well, three sides to the story, both of the people's sides and then the truth, I just feel like things are probably in different people's perspectives. Like that's kind of how I look at it. So we're gonna do it from my perspective, and this starts on August 3rd. So on August 3rd, it was one of my very much close friends' birthday. And for her birthday, we had went out to this place called 7 to like eat and stuff. And then we had went out to, we went out midnight bowling. So when we went midnight bowling, I had walked in or whatever the case may be. And I had seen this fine, tall, like, good looking gentleman. I was telling him, I was like, y'all, he is so fine. Like, he is really so fine. But when I guess the people that he was with, I kind of just like thought that he had a girlfriend because it was a female around type junk. But the whole time, like, I was in a delusion. And I kept walking to the bar to get the ginger ale on purpose so he could kind of like notice me. But he never noticed me because clearly he was never paying attention to me. Because when I walked past him and seeing like how he looked, I was like, dang, like this man, like he's really fine. Like, and I said that out loud for him to hear me, but we'll get to the point of why he did not hear me or why he wasn't paying attention. So, basically, we went through the night, and I was telling one of my homegirls that was with us, like, you know, he fine. And here go her behind. She asked his homeboy first she asked his homeboy first. She was like, hey, is your friend single? So he was like, yeah. And she then was calling him like, let me give y'all the tea real quick, because everybody like, well, Cassie, why you ain't do nothing? Let me tell y'all right now, I have not hollered at somebody in a very long time. Like, I have not walked up to a man and been on some junk like, hey, I want to talk to you, I want to get your number type junk. Like, I have not done that in a very long time. So for me, I was real life nervous. Like, I'm not gonna hold you, I was real life nervous. She told him to come over. But y'all, the way the arcade was set up, I wanted to make like a grand entrance. So he was walking like, say, this the arcade, but there's a back area. So she was like calling him from like right here. So the thing was, I was gonna walk around and basically like pump my junk like, yeah, what's up type of thing. And I was cute. Like, I had on these nice tie-dye, like acid, ripped up shorts, my Michael Jackson baked tee, my makeup was on fleek. What shoes did I wear? I think I wore my low dunks that's navy blue and gray. Like, I was cute. And I think I had my Supreme bag. So I was real cute. So I end up basically like hear her talking about something. She's just nervous to talk to you, but she thinks you're really cute. So I hit that corner, like I hit that corner like, boom, guess who stepped in the room, who run the world, you know, like I do type ordeal. So he's looking and I'm just looking up at him, y'all, like this, like, cause he's so tall, like he fine built, like tattoos, like I'm like, ooh, I was nervous as heck. I was so nervous. But he ended up like introducing himself, and well, we ended up introducing ourselves, and he basically was like, you know, how old are you? So I'm looking like, dang, like he do kind of look kind of grown, so he probably like about 30 something, like that's what it was giving, because his approach to me was like real like adult-ish type ordeal. So I was like, I'm 27, and he was like, I'm 27 as well too. He's a vet, he in school, all type of stuff. So all of this sounds like music to my ears, like music to my ears. And he didn't ask for my social media, he asked for my number. Then he had basically asked me like, what you doing tomorrow night? Well, what you doing tomorrow? And I was like, well, I gotta work, type junk. And he was like, well, we could plan something out. So I'm like, okay, you know, we about to go out on a date, like on the first day, you feel me, like, you know. So we end up like texting that night, and the crazy thing is, y'all, I had to go to work the next morning, like, well, not next morning, next afternoon. So I was on some like, I gotta work, but like, you know, we can plan something out, you know, at the end of the, like, you know, after I get off of work. Mind you, the weather was mixy. The weather was very much mixy. It was raining type junk. So we're texting, we're getting to know each other. He asked to add me on Instagram. So in my head, I'm not gonna hold you, I get really scared when people ask for my social media if that's not how we start off, because of the simple fact, like, if we got too many mutual friends, there's 9 out of 10 times chance that you done messed around and talked to somebody that I know if we got a lot of mutual friends, or vice versa. So for me, I get real like scary. And let me tell you why I get scared of that. Ninjas would text your phone. Ninjas would text you up in DM and love to tell their homeboys, homegirls, whoever, that they used to date you. And they're no. I cannot stand that. That's why I be getting scared, because I can't stand when y'all lie. Y'all need to lie on here, because y'all be lying. So we texting, he had me on Instagram, he liking my pictures. He only got one picture on Instagram, so for me it's just like, you know, I ain't gotta look at much. But I see, like, you know, he's a very handsome dude, and he's complimenting me, talking about like, you know, how I be dressing and all type of stuff. So we plan our first date, and our first date was to go see Deadpool versus Wolverine. Movie, -3 out of 10 for me. Sorry, I'm a real action movie kind of girl, and anything with too much music that's action is going to tick me off. So we're watching the movie, we getting comfortable. Like, usually I like to see on the first date how, you know, especially at the movies, how comfortable a man is or can be. So, you know, he holding on to my leg, and I'm just turned into him. Like, you know, I'm real invested in, like, you know, how the date is going, because the movie ain't going how I wanted to go. So I'm like, you know, I'm digging this. So we leave the movie theater. The movie probably ended at like 12 something, like 12. And we stayed like in the movie theater parking lot, just walking, talking, getting to know each other. And we walked past this place, and the place had basically had, you know, called companions inside. And y'all already know how I feel about called companions. Like, I'm a collectible specifically for called companions. So he was like, yeah, I seen that you like those, and I actually like have a couple of those. So I'm just like, you know, we already vibing from a different type of level, because it's just like, you into what I'm kind of into type ordeal. You feel what I'm saying? So we're getting to know each other. I actually found out the reason like why he was in town, which was for a very important family member of his. And for me, it was just like, you know, I'm learning about you, but it's also like, you feel me, you don't live here, so it's also like it's a chance, but in our reality it might not be a chance because you technically don't live here. So I'm just at the point where I'm listening and I'm just going with the flow. Like, I'm enjoying the day, I'm going with the flow. So we ended up like staying after the movie probably ended at like 12. We ended up staying in the parking lot talking, just talking. We ended up staying out in the parking lot, just getting to know each other and talking till like 2 o'clock in the morning. Like, he telling me about himself, I'm telling him about himself. Like, the date is giving top tier. Like, I'm not gonna hold you, very much top tier. Like, very much top tier. So we end up, what ended up happening? We end up texting, but remember I said an important family member that he was in town for ended up actually passing away the next day. And with them kind of, you know, passing away, it was kind of like, it was a standstill in our situation. Mind you, on our date, he had already like planned out, because I chose the movie theaters because the first date was my choice. Like, basically he said whatever I wanted to do, that's what we were doing. And the second date, which was his choice, was to go look at like a riverfront type thing. So everything was on standstill. Communication was kind of on standstill. Like, it was like a here and there type of thing. But again, I can't, especially when you lose somebody important in your family, I'm not expecting roses and berries, especially because I handle the grief when it come to just anybody completely different. So we kind of had and this was August, so I had a big, like, you know, I had a big conference coming up for church in August, and then we were kind of just like going with the flow of conversation. He liking stuff of mine, I'm liking stuff of his on Instagram. Like, we're just going with the flow. But then he starts commenting on my stuff, like faithfully commenting on my stuff. He goes back to the state that he stays in, because he's from here, his family lives here, but he's not stationed here. I like the better term of that. And he goes back to school, because he is in school, or what have you. And it goes from, you know, little stuff of us not really communicating while he was here, because, you know, he was grieving and I was giving him space to grieve, to now us picking up conversation, to now the stuff, I guess, because of his time of like being in grief, it was also like, you know, he didn't really give me much attention. But again, like I said, this man was commenting up on my stuff, liking up my stuff, like sliding up on me, like doing things that in all reality, the attention that I was receiving during that time, I was liking it. Like, it was like, oh yeah, I like this one. But not only was I receiving it on social media, I was receiving like long paragraphs. I was receiving, you know, voice notes. Like, I was receiving things, again, like I said, that I don't really receive on a regular in the way from other males, like, at all. So I'm really feeling this dude. We're talking, we're getting to know each other. You know, I'm still sending him condolences because the wound of grief is still fresh. So while we're communicating, I'm also being understandable that there might be days, as well as he's in school, like there might be days that he might go missing. There might be days that I might go missing. Like, I got a lot going on myself. So, you know, I'm just understanding that it's stuff going on, but it's also stuff going on with me too, because like anybody knows, I have a busy schedule. So as you can see, the hair is pinned up. Now it's time to get the makeup off, period. So this is August, and kind of like towards the end of August, we kind of start being on the phone with each other a lot, FaceTime and all. It's to the point where it's like, well, I'm gonna sit here and, you know, call you when I get back home, like from his end, because I think the first time that we really had a FaceTime like conversation, you know, he was basically like, I'm about to go out type ordeal, and I'll call you back like when I'm getting back. So for me, I'm just like, okay, you know, like, thank you for like the consideration, you know what I mean? So in the midst of the days of us FaceTiming a lot, being on the phone, talking, it's like some weeks are amazing, and then some weeks are dry, which again, like I said, grief is still like, you know, very much wide and fresh, and he's in school. So, and also too, he got drilled. So for me, I'm over here just like, okay, you know, I got whatever I got going on. I already got motion. And I'm not gonna hold you, it was one time down the line that I did get somebody else's number, but that only lasted for 3 days. But that's another story for another day. I'm not gonna hold you. I think I want to tell that story during this Vlogmas as well too. I'm not gonna cap, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, to each his own. After 3 days, that just didn't work out. That's all I'm gonna say. 3 days, it just didn't work out. You see how short that was? 3 days. Me and the young gentleman was basically like talking like a lot, and I just want to go back to the beginning where I was like, when I'm ready to tell my story, is because the experience that I had with this situation, I'm not gonna say it broke me, but it really surprised the heck out of me. Like, I'm still shocked. Like, I'm sorry, I'm taking off my eyelashes. I cannot believe I messed up my eyelashes like that. All of my pictures was just fumble flops because of my eyelashes. But my eyebrows, the girls ate them up. Let me take the other one off so I can be focused when I'm telling this specific section right here. But yeah, I was real life like distraught by this situation, like even talking about it right now, because especially because it's still so fresh. It's like, for me, it's not even that I can't trust anymore. It's just like, I don't know what it be when it come down to y'all men, with what y'all want, where y'all thought process be going, but we'll get to that point. So again, conversation is picking up. When I post stuff, I'm getting, you know, comments. You know, like, it's just certain stuff, again, like I said, is reassurance, and not just only on social media, but from us being on the phone, us talking all the time. It's just certain stuff that I'm being reassured about, that again is like making me like real life happy. And also too, he offered to like basically pay for me to come and see him. So for me, again, I didn't really take anything serious because we're in 2 different states. And the last time I had a long distance relationship, let's just say, that went every way but right. So I really was not banking on, you know, us taking each other serious. I was really just going with the flow of what our situation was. So he was offering to like pay for me to come and see him, even if it just so happened that we weren't even staying in the same place. Like, it was so many things that were just so gentleman-like. For me, it was like, dang, like, this is so different. And I'm telling my friends like certain things that I don't like, and they're like, girl, like, you sound like you self-sabotaging and this and this and that is that. And I'm like, no, y'all, like, something is really off, and I feel it. Like, I felt it. Y'all, my intuition never lies. I promise you, it never lies. So again, like, he is talking to me all the time, and this how I knew, for some reason, we were really like, not for some reason, but we were really locked in. We felt comfortable sharing past traumatic experiences with each other. Things that I don't even really share with anybody, like, at all. Only close people know. And for me, that was when I really knew, like, we on the phone expressing ourselves to the point where we're crying with each other. We're like helping each other. We're giving monumental advice. And I really use the word monumental because, in a sense, it was things that to this day still stick with me from him. And I'm sorry, y'all already know, when it comes to me, I'm gonna stick wherever I am. with anybody, period. Okay, so we get to now, you know, planning for me to go, and I was supposed to go to where he was at in the month of November, but where he was at, it was a lot going on, so he was like, I'm gonna end up coming home. And it's not that I'm not saying what happened, it's just more so like certain details I'm just not gonna really get into, because that's, you know, I'm telling the story from my perspective. So he ends up, you know, asking if he could stay with me when he comes down here, which again I respected, because I didn't see nothing wrong. I mean, we talking every day. This man, when I usually went out, like, he always got his own attachments. Every single time he always got his own attachments. And he had posted one of my attachments one day, before we even planned on him like coming down here, because I was like, you know, we're kind of like doing relationship things, and for me it's either we're dating or we don't got nothing going on. Like, that's how I kind of was telling him like how I'm looking at it. And he was like, well, we can date, like if it's dating that you want, you know, basically date, like we could call it dating. I just don't want to think about like no relationship right at this moment. Like, I really want to get to know you, because again, y'all, this is fresh. Like, we on month September and we just met October, which was fine with me, because of the simple fact, like, I feel like when I'm dating somebody, I need to see them through every season. And what I mean through every season, I mean literally through every season. The very last person that I probably could say that I took seriously, like really serious before him, ended up leaving me alone. Like, the person stopped talking to me, ended up going out of town with somebody, and then found out that, you know, it was somebody I knew of that he was out of town with, and he just was on some, that's not my shorty, that's not this, not that. But then her birthday come around and you posted her and got her face on a t-shirt. Like, I just be so confused with the men. But yeah, that was the last person I had a serious encounter with. So for me, you declaring that we're dating, we're getting to know each other, you're not messing with nobody, I'm letting you know I'm not messing with nobody else. It's like everything was up front. So for me, the trust was building. Like, the trust was building like real strong, real hard. Like, everything is up front and everything is what it is. This is what I got going on. This is what I don't got going on. This is what I don't want at the moment. This is what I do want at the moment. Like, everything was up front. So again, like I said, this man is posting me, like, commenting up under my stuff for everybody to see. And even when sometimes, like, we might get off the phone with each other or some of that matter, or we're not on the phone with each other, and I call and he on the phone with somebody, I'm on three-way. Family, no matter what the situation is, he calling me back with family on the phone. Like, yes. So now, one big part that, yeah, I like to clean my ears after I take my earrings off, sorry y'all. One big part I forgot to like mention as well too, another thing that very much had me connected to this man was the love for God. Like, us talking about the Bible, us talking about certain things, us sharing scriptures with each other. It was that much deep in for me that I was like, dang, like, you know, like, dang, you feel me? And that's another thing that got me. It got me good. It got me real good. So now we get to approaching all of this November, and he, again, like I said, he asked me basically if he could stay with me. And he was basically, and I have all text messages to prove all of this, y'all. All text messages. He was basically saying, like, he asked me if it was okay for him to stay with me, and then he was like, and we could just, you know, go out and hang out and paint up the city. So I'm over here like, okay, in my head, in my brain, in my mind, if you ask to stay with me and say we about to be hanging out for the weekend and all of this other stuff, I'm thinking like, okay, like, we're about to spend time with each other. Not to mention, like, also too, other comments that he was also saying to me. Like, it was just certain things that I was just like, okay, this my type of man. You feel me? This my type of man. And at no time, y'all, did we ever have like an argument. At no time did we ever have like no type of disagreement. If we needed to express something, we communicated everything straight, like, to each other. Like, if I felt some type of way that he was missing, I communicated that. He apologized. He said what was wrong. Like, he was taking it. Like, it was so much stuff that we were so communicative about that for me, I'm just thinking like he about to, hold on, you know, this about to be a good weekend. I'm telling my friends like, yeah, he coming in the weekend. I'm about to be on Do Not Disturb. Don't bother me. Don't call me. Don't text me. Don't do nothing. Don't do nothing. Don't do nothing. And whole time, one of my very closest, like my dance sister, she was like, okay, so what do you have planned? And I'm looking at her like, I'm not even going to hold you. I don't have nothing planned. I honestly just want to stay in the house and hide from this man. Hide this man from everybody. Like, I don't want nobody ruining, like, you know, our moments with each other, because I feel like sometimes, like I said, people love to run out. And it's not that I be scared of what other people think. It's just, Colombia is just real different. Like, I'm not gonna hold you. Colombia is real life different. So, and it's not of anything that I'm ashamed of with anybody. It's just more so, like I said, Colombia is just different. So I'm gonna let this sit on my face real quick and let everything like cleanse in like how I need to. And I just got a new fresh box delivered today. If you are not using something else outside, if you're not using some towelettes to basically clean your face instead of a washcloth or like a face like exfoliator scrubber, you need to get with the winning team bag, because honestly a lot of people been like, your skin's glowing. This is why, because I don't use anything the day after that's holding bacteria on my face. Oh, and I wash my bed sheets. So yeah, and my pillowcases. Sorry, I wash my pillowcases. So, you know, I'm basically telling them like, I don't really know what I'm gonna do when he get here, because it's not that I don't want to do stuff. So my line sister plans out a whole itinerary for me. She had a whole week, and I'm like, I want to sleep. Like, I really want to sleep. She talking about sleep when you dad, sleep when you dad, sleep when you dad. So the weeks are approaching, and as the days are going by, we're talking to each other way more than normal, like every day, to the point where it was one night I was ready to get off the phone, and this man was like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I'm about to get off the phone. And he was like, you can put your phone down, and then, you know, you can lay down. So I'm looking like, oh, you want to fall asleep on the phone together type ordeal, you know what I mean? And I'm looking like, I mean, okay, but y'all, we were literally doing this every day up until he stepped foot in my house. Like, that right there scared the heck out of me. And that's when I started to get worried, because I'm just like, dang, like almost every day we are talking to each other. Like, this giving, you know, this my boyfriend type ordeal. Like, I don't see it no other way, but this is my boyfriend. But in my head, like, I knew I didn't want that at the moment. So I'm like, you feel me? I'm like, what's going on? Like, what is going on? So again, like I said, and I don't mean just falling asleep on the phone. I don't mean just falling asleep on the phone. I mean, I'm getting up for work. I'm getting up to work out, because I work out very early in the morning. He's still on the phone. I hang up the phone so, you know, he can get his rest, what have you, and he's basically like calling me like, you already at work, I want you to have a good day. He texting me throughout the day, what you doing, I want to talk to you. Like, this is all day. Mind you, sometimes it's one conversation in text. If I put a whole like story worth of stuff up, sliding up on me, you look beautiful, you look good, queen, like, oh man, I can't wait to, like, it is nothing but at no time that I'm not talking to this man. So I start getting scared. I'm not gonna hold you. I start getting scared, and I knew something was wrong, because after everything that happened this weekend, I said I knew something was wrong when everybody else was excited and I wasn't. Like, again, granted, yes, you're long distance, and you feel me, we can't see each other. I still want that space to miss you. Like, I want to be the one, like, dang, I ain't talk to you, dang, we ain't do, like, I want to be the one to do that. So boom, I'ma just fast forward till he gets here. He got here late due to a situation that happened that specific day. And you know what that meant? I don't like for anybody to, you know, if I'm traveling late, I don't want nobody else to like go to sleep on me. So, you know, I didn't go to sleep. I still, mind you, the days kept switching, because originally he was coming Wednesday to Sunday, and then it switched from Tuesday to Saturday. So I'm up. I didn't go to bed, especially because anytime it's the first time somebody's in my house, I feel very uncomfortable. It don't matter if it's a male or female. I'm up. and he basically is a gentleman and doesn't come and lay in the bed. So I'm like, you kind of done been on the road, and I'm like, yeah, no, like I got like this new type of bed, so yeah, just come lay down. Didn't touch me, didn't do nothing. Like, we both slept side by side with each other, no issue. Like, I slept in my corner, for an hour and a half, I guess, or 20 minutes, because I had to be back up at 6, and I went to work. Yeah, I went to work. So throughout the day, he had went to go visit his family. He had, and his family lives on the other side of town, so in a sense, he was with his family all day, which was fine, because I was at work. You know what I mean? We were with his family all day, and then he came back. For some reason, I'm thinking like, the only thing I got all weekend, y'all, was, the only thing I got all weekend was a hug. Like, that's all I got. Like, and I'm just going to get that straight to the point, because that's really the moral of this. The only thing I got all weekend was a hug. We get to, what is that? That was Wednesday. We start watching a movie. He fell asleep. We get to Thursday, and it was a possible chance that I had to go into work, and I knew, he was gonna be with his family. It's Thanksgiving. I didn't really expect much, and he had originally offered for me to come to his mom's house, but I was glad that he was opposed to that, just because of the simple fact, like, I'm not your girlfriend, so even if plans didn't switch, I wasn't coming anyway, because I'm not your girlfriend. I don't feel like I want to meet your family, even though from what it seemed from the conversations that was being directly said to me and had around me, the family knew me by my first name. But again, like I said, I'm not your girlfriend, and even if they know about me, I don't want to be like around meeting nobody's family if I'm not yours. So y'all already know, and I'm using nighttime, of course. So Thursday comes, mind you, prior to, because his birthday is coming. That's why I said I was being gracious, because his birthday did pass. Well, is coming up. Sagittarius. And I got him, I basically had got him a gift. And it was like a very monumental gift. It was a gift of the family member that passed away, like their favorite picture together. And if anybody knows anything about me, I don't do too well with people being on their phone around me. I really don't. Like, I'm not a person that like to be on my phone a lot when I'm spending time with other people, so I don't expect that for me. You know what I'm saying? So he ended up he was on his phone, and while I was getting ready, probably prepared to go to work, I was like, hey, because you're about to go with your family, let me just give him, I surprised him, with some gifts or what have you. And I was like, hey, can I get your undivided attention? Can you get off your phone real quick? And he was like, for what? Like, it was like a pushback, because I asked him to get off his phone. And even if I wasn't giving the gifts, to me, it was still like, if I wanted you to get off your phone, were you going to go back and forth with me? Like, I'm not understanding. So I got irritated. Really quick, because in my head, I know how much this gift is about to mean to you. And you're kind of like, in a sense, being not disrespectful, but you're being rude about just putting your phone down. And that really ticked me off, y'all. It sent me. So I basically explained to him, I was like, well, I know the room is about to be emotional right now, so I just said, here's the gift, here's what it is. And I sat down, and as he's crying, I'm irritated. I did not console him, and I felt some type of way, because again, like I said, the gift is very monumental for what the gift was, and he's a person that has said before that nobody really ever does anything for him, celebrates his birthday, etc. He doesn't take those things serious, especially because he's the oldest of his siblings. So for me, that messed me up. And even then, after he was crying and kept saying thank you and I appreciate it and everything, I explained to him, you really kind of messed my vibe up because of this. 1. 2, you also haven't been affectionate to me. And he was like, I'm being a gentleman, etc. But to me, it's just I get that. But how you were talking on the phone, how you were saying things, texting me, even prior to coming up, the week of coming up here, it's completely different. You get what I'm saying? The attention you're verbally giving me and the attention you're physically giving me is not the same. It's not matching. So he went to go see his family. I went, to my line sister's house that made the itinerary for the weekend of stuff that we were supposed to be doing. So I go to my my line sister's house, and I'm talking about this with them, y'all. I'm like, maybe I'm not seeing it from a perspective like the men that did be affectionate to me prior to aren't here anymore. So God is sending me a gentleman. I'm thinking of this in every positive way, because honestly inside I was getting irritated, like, because I was bored. That's what it was. I was bored. So I'm getting text messages like, I'm gonna massage you, I'm gonna rub on you, all type of stuff. We get to coming home. I came home first, was just chilling, watching movies, doing some Black Friday shopping, because it was kind of like a little after 12 when I got home. He comes back to the house and he's kind of just chilling himself. And for me, it was more so like, okay, what's up? You get what I'm saying? Like, what's up? Hours go by, no affection, none whatsoever. We're on Friday now, which leads us to the big bang, pum 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 pum, the big thicker bar. So we wake up, and originally the day before he was talking about going to color kicks. So I was like, okay, cool. You know, in my head I'm like, I don't want to go if I'm having to buy shoes. But in a sense, I also woke up and my time of the month came. So I'm already heated. Like, I'm heated as heck. I am heated as heck. And so he was asking, like, well, I'm listening to him on the phone with his brother. He was on the phone with his brother. And I hear the conversation went in, for me, a triangle kind of series. And this is why. I'm editing and doing stuff right now for Vlogmas. And I hear, yeah, I'm staying with my lady right now. And I'm guessing the person said lady, like I didn't know you had a lady. And his response, from what I was guessing what was said was, yeah, I like to keep my love life private because the women in Florida ain't nothing, and this one is like real special. So in my head, I'm like, there's no way I'm being called your lady and you ain't touch me. Like kiss me on the forehead, kiss me on the cheek, mouth to mouth kiss. Like, you ain't touch me, but I'm your lady. Like, it was weird. So then I hear, well, I'm supposed to be going to color kicks. I'm probably going to take my sisters out to go shopping, and I'm going to get a tattoo. So now I'm sitting down observing, because I'm like, at what point in time are we spending time with each other? And me going to color kicks is not us spending time with each other. I'm so sorry. Like, it's not. It's really not. Especially when it's been 48 hours since you've been here, and again, like, it's not giving what you originally put down. That's where I'm going with this. So I look up, and he's pulling me like off of the bed to stand up, and he was like, my family basically said, like, whoever this one is, that, like, I need to marry her, need to marry you, etc., etc. But prior to this, y'all, like the week before, we were already talking about marriage, and he was asking me about like kids, if I ever wanted to go back to school, like, how do I feel about like marriage and kids. And I'm like, honestly, like, thought process when it comes to kids is I want a very good foundation in the household for kids, but I do also want to get my PhD. But it's like, one of my non-negotiables, I really don't want to have kids until I'm married, because I really want to enjoy the person I'm with first before I have kids, because once kids come, it's a wrap. And it was a push of conversation of, well, financially you're going to be straight, financially you're going to be good. Finances don't mean nothing to me when I don't have a firm foundation to build for my children. I don't just want to, oh, you can have this money and you'll be fine, you can't see me. I don't want to, oh, well, I gotta go to work, you can have this money, you could get all of these gifts and you can't see me as a parent. That will not be me at all. So when he's talking about something, his family telling him to marry me, I'm looking like, boy, we already had this conversation. So he fake plays and gets on his knees, whatever, and I'm like, get up. So I sit down, I was like, so you about to be gone all day? Like, I just gave it straight to him. I was like, you about to be gone all day? And he was like, I'm going to call the kicks and then I'm coming back. I said, but you're also talking about taking people shopping and you're also planning on getting tattoos. Like, I'm so confused. Where do I fit in any of these plans? When I come back, just plan something and we go somewhere. How, if you have all of this stuff lined up? Baby, I got tattoos for days. And if you're going with somebody else, there's unless you're getting this that only took 30 minutes, I promise you're going to be there longer, because y'all probably don't know what y'all getting. And on top of that too, it's two of y'all. Like, come on now. Then you're talking about, like, how did you forget all of the stuff that you have been talking about right in front of me? So at this point, I kind of shut down because I'm getting irritated, and then I'm kind of emotional because, you know, I am on my period. So basically, he was like, talk to me, like, tell me what's wrong. I said, no, I'm good. And he was like, well, can you text to me? I said, no. He was like, well, I still feel like you should say something. So I went in straight and I said, well, for one, I just feel like you came here and we haven't been spending no time with each other. Y'all, I just told y'all we went from, I like to keep my love life private, I'm staying with my lady, to my family telling me I need to marry you. We've been talking about marriage the past week, all of this stuff. This man goes and sits here and says, you've already been complaining about me not being affectionate to you. What did you expect when I said I was coming and you're not my girlfriend? And that, ladies and gentlemen, is when I locked in. So he said, so what you want? Like, what you want me to do? You want me to go? And I was like, yeah, you can go. So he packed up his stuff. Christina, what's gone? And he packed up his stuff and he left. And for me, I just felt like I wasn't about to go back and forth. And this is where I really want to say growth has really like kicked into me, y'all. Because old Cassie, as I'm having my laptop in my hand, would have took that laptop and would have dragged it across his face. Mainly because if anybody knows me, I don't take off of work. I'm sorry. I don't really care to take off of work. 1. 2, you did all of this. It would be so completely different if I didn't have receipts. It would be so completely different if I didn't have call logs. It would be so completely different if you didn't say, when I come in town, can I stay with you so we can paint up the city together, hang out? Not to mention, this man said, I want us to pop out with each other like you sitting on my lap and I'm ready to post us on Instagram. Like all of this. So again, what did I really expect when you said you were coming? Because what you said and how you are acting are completely different. Cool. That was not the cherry on the top. And some details I am leaving out because I need to leave out for self reasons. But yeah, that's just me. This last part, and then I'm done. This happened between the hours of 10 and 11. It had to be like 10 and 11. I received a text message at 16:47. I appreciate you for everything you've done. I still want to apologize. And I'm not reading this like verb, like I could just show you the text. I'm just going to summarize what the text message said. I appreciate you for everything that you did. I apologize. But where I'm at in this life, I don't want nobody holding me down. And I wish you the best in this life and the one after. Babes, it's hours later. And as many times as you've blown up my phone, as many times as we've blown up each other's phone, as many times as we've sent over 7-minute voice notes, as many times as we've cried with each other and in front of each other, and as many times as no matter what we've communicated to each other, do you honestly think I was about to respond to a week behind text message? I don't give spam in a can, honey. I don't give anything canned. I give caviar. So, if you weren't going to call and apologize, there was no reason for no apology. Because, again, like I said, last week we talking about marriage and kids. This week we talking about your family telling you that you need to marry me. To you staying at your lady crib and you keep your love life private. To I'm not your girlfriend and you don't want nobody holding you down. I don't care what nobody has going on. Nobody will not disrespect me, let alone in my household. Because I didn't feel like that a lot of that was disrespectful. But also too, it's just like the posting, the commenting, the voice notes, the emotional exchanges of conversations, the everything. How did we go from all of that to this? And what make it worse is that was virtual. You are now in person. And our first date went way better than the weekend. So I let Friday be Friday. I didn't even respond. he was still kind of viewing my stuff on Instagram. I had kind of put him on mute, and then I took myself out on a date. But y'all know me. Y'all know me. Y'all know me. Y'all actually seen the video, and this is how I looked. I took myself on a date. So when I took myself on a date, it was kind of like, that was my reassurance to myself. Like, we're not about to mope about this. We're not about to cry about this. We're not about to do, well, not cry, but we're not about to hold on to this as if this was your loss, because it was his, in a sense. Well, it was his loss. And he unfollowed me on Instagram. I mean, I wouldn't want to see somebody like me after all of that looking like how I looked in this picture. And then also too, I gotta remember you because you gave me a monumental gift of somebody that I truly, like, my heart can't recover from. So you have no choice but to remember me now, no matter what happens between us. I go wherever I go and you go wherever you go. You have no choice but to remember me now. No choice. And the only way that you gonna aid not having to see me all the time is if you don't see me on Instagram. Ain't that something? That's something, right? That's something. But yeah, folks, I don't know. I'm not saying I'm not giving up on love. This was a crazy story time, I bet. But for me, it's just like, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know what to say. I don't. His number's deleted. He don't ever gotta worry about talking to me again. And yeah, I hope he had a great birthday. Thank y'all for tuning in to day 14 of Vlogmas.